Hello everyone, I am Teacher Derek. Among the many steps of the study abroad application process, language scores are an extremely critical part. And the Duolingo English Test, relying on its characteristics such as convenience and efficiency, has seen its recognition continuously rise globally. More and more universities and institutions recognize and accept DET scores and incorporate its scores into their evaluation systems. In the recent 2 to 3 months, accompanying the overall reform of the Duolingo test, its score requirements have also presented a series of noteworthy change trends. First is the overall upward adjustment of university score requirements. Judging from the latest enrollment policies published by many universities, the requirements for Duolingo English test scores show a clear upward trend. Taking some American universities as an example, Emory University in this fall's admission application raised the minimum Duolingo English test score requirement from 120 points to 130 points, a full increase of 10 points. And Brown University also made a move, raising the Duolingo score requirement from 120 points to 130 points. In Canada, the University of Toronto, for some popular majors such as computer science, engineering, etc., has Duolingo score requirements stable at 125 points and above compared to the requirements for the same majors last year. There is also an increase of about 5 points. This reflects that universities' requirements and expectations for international students' English proficiency are continuously increasing. Accompanied by the growing number of study abroad applicants, universities hope to screen for students with more solid language abilities who can better adapt to the full English teaching environment by raising the language threshold. Second is significant score differences between different majors. The differences in Duolingo score requirements for different majors are becoming increasingly prominent. Humanities and social sciences majors such as English literature, communication, etc., due to their extremely high demands on students' language expression and reading comprehension abilities, generally have higher score requirements. For example, Warwick University's business master's programs require a Duolingo score of at least 130 points or above, and also have strict requirements for subsection scores. Any subsection score must not be lower than 110 points, because these types of majors involve a large amount of text reading, thesis writing, and class discussion in daily study. Excellent. Language ability is the foundation of learning and research. Whereas STEM majors like mathematics, physics, etc., although their language ability requirements are relatively lower, are also gradually increasing. Taking Carnegie Mellon University as an example, its STEM undergraduate majors originally required a Duolingo score of around 125 points. In the past 2 years, the minimum standard has been raised to 135 points. There are many schools like Carnegie Mellon University. More and more schools believe that with the internationalization of scientific research, students need to possess better English abilities to read cutting-edge literature and participate in international academic exchanges. In terms of degree level, the DET score requirements for master's and PhD programs are significantly higher than for undergraduate programs at the master's level. Because the course content is more in-depth and academic research tasks are heavy, students need to possess stronger English reading, writing, listening, and speaking abilities. For example, Columbia University's Master's in Business Analytics program requires a DET score as high as 130 points, requiring students to be able to read professional literature fluently, write high-quality academic reports, and clearly express viewpoints in seminars. In comparison, the score requirements for undergraduate programs are relatively lower, but also show an upward trend, such as the University of California. Berkeley's undergraduate Duolingo score requirement increased from last year's 110 points to this year's 115 points. For test takers planning to take the Duolingo English test, paying close attention to these score requirement change trends is crucial. Based on the latest score requirements of target universities and majors, formulating a scientific and reasonable preparation plan and targetedly improving one's own English ability is the only way to stand out in the fierce competition of study abroad applications.